Hey guys, it's Nicole again with your last book review for the day. Enjoy. So again, classic writers is kind of what I'm going for right now with this pickup. And today's book is Stephen King's Misery. If you can see that, it's kind of hard to see the cover, but there's a little guy in there and he was very depressed. Um, you guys may have seen the movie. This one's definitely an older book. They made a movie on it, and I believe Kathy Bates plays the female lead character. I don't know who plays the male lead, but it's ridiculous. So this is about a guy named Paul Sheldon, who's a famous writer of his time. And, it starts with him finishing his latest book that he worked on. He's really happy about it, and, he decides to go celebrate. He kind of, has this problem where he drinks, and that gets him into a whole load of trouble, which brings him into contact with this woman named Annie, who saves him. And we're all like, oh, sweet, thank goodness, Annie saves this guy from, dying from this car wreck. And then you start to realize, though, that something's a little off about her. And Paul starts to slowly realize it too, and he'll start asking like, "Oh, can I have my stuff? Oh, what happened? We gotta call, like, I need to go to a hospital." And then he starts to realize that there's a reason he's not at the hospital. There's a reason he doesn't have his stuff on him. And it just gets a little creepier and creepier, and then he realizes, I'm a prisoner here. I'm actually not like it takes a turn, and he's starting to realize that this woman who is not sane in the head is also keeping him captive, and he finds out that she is his #1 fan. And she's a fan of a book series that he wrote called Misery. And, he wrote about this woman, and her name was Misery, and she goes through all these different adventures. And in his last book, he kind of, maybe killed her off. And Annie is not okay with that. Annie loves him. And Annie loves Misery. And she is so upset. And so over the course of the book, they start to... He hated the book, which is interesting to point out too, is he wrote the first book on a whim, I believe, and then he just realized he had to keep it going. And so for him, killing Misery off, he was really happy to do. Annie, however, not so much, so there becomes this conflict about good books and what he writes, and, she has her weird own kind of little language that she sometimes uses, different words or phrases that kind of seem weird and make her seem childlike in a sense. That's what I kind of picked up from it. But at the same time, she's also very, very deadly, and you start to see her background. She's a nurse, which is a good and bad thing. So there's a lot of little twists and turns in it. I felt like I would get very angry, and I would be like, Paul, come on, man. And there were moments where I felt myself reading it, picturing it happening, going, don't do that, no wait, do that, don't, And you get to a point where you begin to question, is he ever going to get free of her? Are they just going to live out their lives like this? Is anyone going to notice? And, so it's definitely very interesting and crazy, and the ending, there's definitely a point in the ending that I did not see coming, and then there's like, you're still riding a roller coaster. That's what this book kind of feels like. At some point you get on a roller coaster and you can't tell if you're going to be allowed to get off. So, very crazy book. I would give it like a 3.5 on my 5 scale. It's creepy, it's chilling, it's exciting. It's also a little too gory for my taste at some points. There's definitely one scene where I just kind of sat there and I was like, ugh, skip, like, paraphrase the reading. And so, if you're not into, like, gore, which again, it's Stephen King, should have seen that coming. But if you're not really into that, just be careful. But I wanted to, dive into more of the famous classic the authors that I've really heard about growing up. So, again, Stephen King's Misery. There's also a book. This is the book, Smarty. There's also a movie that you're welcome to check out, I believe. Kathy Bates is in it. I don't know how old that one is, but I'm if you know Kathy Bates, she's good at playing crazy. So, yeah, that is the book reviews for today. I have to go, but as always, thank you for watching, commenting, liking, etc. It means a lot, and I will talk to you later. Alright, bye guys!